Thanks for being here. Yeah, it really is good to be back in person. Like, really good. The Zoom version of this is just not as fun. I love it. It's efficient. Cut that one out, 'cause I still need to. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, gang. Continued success. Yeah. YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Gary V. First of all, thank you so much. I hope you're doing super well during these times. I also want to ask you, please subscribe, because my commitment and exploration of YouTube is about to expand. Stories, polls, more content, more engagement, more surprise and delight. This is the time to subscribe. I hope you consider it, and I hope I see you soon.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Even from the moment you walk in, you can get checked in virtually through our Zoom Rooms kiosk mode. Once I'm in a Zoom room, I can start my meeting completely touch-free using voice commands. Hello Zoom, start meeting.
Okay. Dance.
It's free organic.
How are you?
Oh, I can hear you now.
And 80,000 people might say it.
Cool.
This portion is like with me, so I think this is when you need to get selfish. Like you need to ask your.
I'm around. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Where are you from?
I'm from a different dimension.
Like you gotta go.
I can tell. Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
There you go. I'm from Chile, Santiago.
Oh wow.
So everybody,
How we can be here together.
How's it going so far? How's the day been going?
Yeah, actually this is my first time playing with this. Never seen this before.
You know you can make your own avatar?
What was that, sorry?
You can make your own character.
Oh, sorry, I didn't tell. You got some music in the back. I can hear you well.
Who you are, and a little bit about yourself, and then I'll go back around, and I want you to think about the very direct question you have, because I want to go very narrow. And so
I'm gonna add you, bro.
Calvin, good to see your face again. Good to see you in a while.
Sure, let's go to Yasmin. She's over in Dubai. I'm gonna kind of work.
Oh, I'm the first. Hi, what's up?
Okay.
So, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a business in Switzerland, in Zurich. It's a salon. We specialize in eyebrows. And I'm currently here in Dubai building the second salon. And
Did I Metaverse?
But I
Yeah. Because of COVID?
Yes, of course. Yes, it's postponed for so long, and I had a lot of fears and all that stuff, but I'm doing it anyways.
How long have you been in some space in this place?
So,
Is it the first time as well?
And Dubai is looking very well.
Is that the first time you're here in some space?
I've been a couple of times.
At one point, and that's what I'm currently doing.
Like some in space, Cryptovoxels, Decentraland, all the Metaverse.
Okay.
That's cool. So where do you get your avatar from?
They call Ready Player. VR chat Ready Player.
Yeah.
.com.
100%.
And you go there, you can make your own avatar.
Like 20K.
It's free, man.
Ready Player, yeah, not from the same place.
Just for a few days. Just to test it, and it was quite good, and now I'm working.
Anyway, I think I'm popping up. Cheers, mate. Have a nice one.
You too, bro. Have a good one.
Should I go with the question?
No, I'm going to get context, and then we'll go back with questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Let's shift over to Matt Henry down under, Packaging King of Australia. Matt, say hi to Gary.
G'day Gary, how's it going? I've never been called that joke, so that's new. So yeah, Gary, I'm looking after. I'm essentially I'm a GM of the business, but I'm really a traditional CMO. So I'm on the exec team, looking after a team of about 75.
Yep.
And packaging business, we do about 5 other categories as well, but we're most well known for packaging, and that's the leading category.
You see me now?
Doing about 100 mil a year in revenue with about 40,000 customers. It's predominantly B2B, but it's shifting super rapidly to,
You see me?
B2C, with some B2C as well.
It's a hybrid. Back to your point, the first intro was a perfect example, right? Humans are building up companies at scale that are going to need packaging, and so those businesses are emerging quickly. It makes a ton of sense. I've seen this dynamic of packaging in the U.S.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, we've gone from, our customers being like Coke and IKEA, to now, we now can build a huge amount of scale with 30,000 small customers from, jewelers
And by the way, those customers are going to grow in perpetuity.
Crazy, man.
For sure.
How can people with this character?
That's where the internet's taking us, so I understand. So
cool.
That's the business. So okay.
Cool. Let's
real pleasure. Cheers.
Go to the western side of the United States and talk to one of my favorite categories, the automotive category. Josh Letsis is an auto dealer in the Colorado area. Josh, right here. You're on mute, Josh.
Josh, you're on mute, brother.
Rookie mistake.
No worries.
Gary, I actually met you at Agent 2021 a couple of years ago, so good to see you again.
Good to see you.
But yeah, I am the part owner in 3 automotive dealerships in Denver, just outside.
Working at you, man.
And I mean, that's really ultimately all the context I need, but just to give me a little more fodder, since that was so quick, what was your biggest ambition coming to this? Like, what do you hope to get out of this?
Yeah, so we've created a brand, kind of a character that's a caricature of myself and old school car dealers that we're running, where I've got this cheesy plaid suit, and it's sort of introducing humor, and then also a lot of value adds, like, hey, how do I change my wiper blades? How do I, why should I lease versus purchase? A lot of value adds.
Two of my favorite maneuvers in business.
Yeah, so those are 2 things that we're doing right now, and I just want to, figure out how can we expand on that. We bought the stores in August, and so we're starting at 0.
Okay.
Next, we're going to go over to Texas and say hi to Sam Rodriguez, who's in the financial services business. That's what Sam's on here.
Hey Gary, how's it going, man?
Really well said.
Yeah, so I'm a financial planner. I run a small team of advisors here in North Texas. And I'm really just trying to take advantage of what's going on now and move my industry sort of into this new age of how to reach them.
So you're looking to build personal brand, let's say a LinkedIn strategy to acquire clients and have leverage to acquire even teammates and help your teammates be better as well.
That's exactly right? Like I really want to attract those clients and attract advisors that want to help those clients.
I understand. Keep it going. Awesome.
Oklahoma, just north of them, we've got Brad Derry, who's an agency owner, so very similar to what you started back in 2009, Gary. Say hi to that Gary, Brad.
Hey Gary, yeah. So next month we'll be 10 years old. Until 2018, it was really just kind of a paying side hustle, maybe a little more than a side hustle. 2018, we kind of launched off and became a lot more than a side hustle.
What were you doing besides that, Brad?
Ministry, actually, I was a pastor.
That's amazing.
Like almost 10 years, yeah.
Good deal. Keep going.
2018, we launched off and really entered the home services niche pretty heavily. So we worked mostly with contractors, HVAC, plumbing, that kind of thing, all across the country, yeah.
Know it well. Okay, great. Looking forward to your questions.
Continue up north and we'll head over to Vance in Chicago, who's a motivational speaker / author. Vance, say hi to Gary.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. My name is Van Stan. I'm here. I'm an author of this book, Making Sure Season. I Can't See Myself. So I also, I'm an author, and I studied some of the greats in motivational speaking, as far as Jim Rohn, Napoleon Hill, and things like that. So I'm up and coming, just like, trying to get where you are. And I also wrote a book about you that I want to share with you today, man.
Okay. Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
That's great. You're just trying to build more brand to have leverage for speaking and book.
Exactly.
Obviously, I'll be very ready for that. Okay.
And last but not least, closer to home, Gary, over in BK, we've got Calvin, who you know, and have had dinner with him in the past. Calvin, say hi to Gary.
Hey, Gary, great to meet you again.
Great to see you again, Cal. What's good?
Yeah, lots of things. So yeah, I have a software company, Simplero. I've had that for 11 years. We've actually talked about it in the past. 30 people now, and looking to leverage to build my personal brand because I want it to then expand into some other. I'm passionate about purpose, meaning like knowing who you are, how that fits in your business, relationships, health. So I'm doing a meal replacement and a workout product, and then I have like ideas for all kinds of other things. Ultimately, wanting to be a special advisor to the president of the United States at some point in the future, helping bring the country back together.
Very cool.
One thing real quick, Gary, before we go into the second round and go deeper, I just wanted to acknowledge that there are some folks here that brought their +1 with them. I have, I'll start off. Courtney Bridgewater Nelson's my newest resident on the West Coast. So if there's any business owners on the phone that would like to introduce their +1s really quick before we go into the deep dive, feel free to do so.
I'll go. I brought Jay Crump, my social media manager, social media guy. He's one person on team get Calvin right now. I had like 5, 6 last year, but it didn't quite work out, so we're down to Jay.
One step backwards is always a good start.
I am a TV show.
I have Danielle here, who is in Canada. She is my executive assistant and in charge of hiring and culture.
Amazing.
Spoke out of my mind to be here.
Cool.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for the love. I saw you take the photo, and I was fired up. I'm always flattered by that shit.
I also forgot to mention we do have Kate from our Tennessee office.
Yes, I saw the name. I wasn't sure if she was running around the house or why she's not showing her video, but I was there. You are, Kate.
Cool. So let's go back around in that.
And James Orsini is here.
Yes,
all right, cool. Let's go back around the horn. Same pattern this way we can do quickly.
So starting with Yasmin over in Dubai. Yasmin, what do you want to talk to Gary about today?
Okay. So what came clear to me today is the personal brand. My fear there was, which I asked the question already. My fear was, okay, if I build a personal brand that is so attached to my business, how do I exit with it being emotionally attached to me? Is it then
you'll be stuck working for your new company that bought you for 3 years, and after that you'll be free as a bird and you'll do it again.
Oh, okay. No, but I've asked that question and now.
But it's a very interesting question. I'm glad you asked it. A lot of people fear it, so it stops them from building a personal brand, which oftentimes, not always, often is the biggest leverage point you have to building a big business. But look at the history of time. But even closer to your world, Bobbi Brown, the incredible makeup artist, she sold her company. She worked for Revlon or L'Oreal or Estee Lauder, I don't remember which big company bought her, for several years, non-compete, and then she was done. I'm currently living this right now. I started a wine brand. I sold it to Constellation in March. I'm tied up for another 3 years. And then after 3 years, I'm going to start a tequila brand or another wine brand or nothing. So I think you need to.
That was my biggest fear. And I think I've looked at it in the wrong perspective.
Correct.
But my biggest question for you is, if you would be in my shoes right now, building 2 different businesses, they feel like 2 different businesses, although the same brand, right? What would your strategy be there if you were me?
I would think about the world in a 60-20-20 realm. 60-20-20. All of my behavior, the way I would staff, my brain, my heart, the way I would think about the world would be 60-20-20. Let me explain. 60% of my energy, time, money would be around the brand, because to your point, it's the same brand, 2 different functions.
Yes.
20% of my heart, my soul, my money, my energy would be for the unique individual businesses to stand up their needs. So obviously, the salon that people come to.
What do you mean with that?
Correct me if I'm wrong. You've got the salon, and then you're selling the product direct to consumer.
Yes.
So, spending time to hire a manager for the salon, thinking about the aesthetics of the salon, renovating the salon, changing the prices of how much you charge at the salon. That gets 20% of my energy. It really gets 80. It really gets 80 because the 60% up top is I'm always thinking about my business and my brand. Yeah. Same on the other side. Having a meeting around cardboard with Matt or packaging is not something the salon needs, but it's something your DTC business does. What I'm giving you is a triangle to think about your day. Why that works is that you don't get too far away from one side or the other because you've got to carry both balls. Understand? Mm-hmm. So that's how I would think about it. They're different businesses, but they're all one business. Yeah. It's like having two children.
I should expect that from her because she's like that.
Yeah, it feels that way.
And then she looks at my balance and she tells me what my balance is, so I should expect stupid shit from her.
And passionately.
But what? Yo, she really chewed up my ear this morning. Yeah, but you know you got it, but you know you're gonna go. I know you. Even if you didn't pay it, you would have still went in there. I know you don't give a fuck. Yeah, so now I'll talk about that. I'll be like, mira, para que tú no pienses tu mente que todavía tú no tengas eso en tu mente que él nunca ha pagado, que era un ladrón, porque él lo pagó, él vino para atrás. So, un ladrón no viene para atrás a pagar. Lo único, la razón porque él se fue de la bodega fue a lo mejor la manera como tú saliste ahí, porque no por nada, a veces tú tienes una manera de estar. So, la gente como que no se lleva contigo. So, I would tell her straight like that. I talk to her like that. She knows it. And I don't be like, so, un ladrón, tú sabes, él hizo eso, tú sabes, a lo mejor de la manera como tú saliste, y ya tenía solamente que ya él lo iba a chequear la banco. Y eso fue lo que hizo. Él fue para arriba, chequeó la banco, él vio que tú tenías la razón, y él fue al mismo tiempo para atrás, para abajo. Eso porque tú no estabas ahí, porque tú te vas a la calle, pero cuando él bajó, él fue para pagarte dinero y tú no estabas ahí, so él dejó el dinero a la otra persona. So ahora tú no puedes estar andando diciendo todavía que es un ladrón, porque él vino para atrás a pagar dinero. So saca eso de tu mente. I'm gonna tell her just like that. Saca eso de tu mente porque tú no tienes que estar diciendo cosas de la gente sin saber. Like, giving people a bad name, you know? And then she's still, not to cut you off, but she's crazy. What about if I would have fucking cursed her out, like, oh, why are you talking about my uncle? Oh, I don't give a fuck. You know, you don't do that. You don't tell people business. Oh, I thought I get you. No, she don't. Because she kept staring at me to see, like, she didn't know how to come out to say it to me. Because I think she was thinking about it, like, damn, what am I rich that comes out sideways to me right now, you know? Curses me out, another one curses me out. But
basically a whole bunch of OGs. Kate's been with us for 6 or 5 at this point, or 4, right? Kate's like, this is an OG team, mainly because I'm scared shitless for small businesses to lose, because a big company losing $1 million is very hard on us, is very, 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 by the way,
yeah, that's unprofessional, that's unprofessional. She's probably been dying to see me, but I don't go in that store too much. I always go to the other store where I get my coffee at. But I was thinking about that. In the moment that she started talking to me about it, in the back of my head, I'm like, yo, this bitch is really crazy. Like, who raised her? Like, she be doing things that be having you bugged out. Like, see, things that she does, I won't do. Like, I won't take somebody's receipt and pass it to them and be like, wow, you got mad money. I won't wait to see. I won't wait to see somebody's family member and say the whole drama that has nothing to do with that person. Like, you're your own individual and I'm my individual. I get that we related, but she don't know our status. What about if I don't like you either? And then she's talking about you. You know, that's making things worse, you know? She don't know if our relationship is close just because she sees that you're my uncle. And I tell my mom, she has that jack off her head like the store belongs to her. Like, oh, ese tipo yo no quiero ver aquí. Like if she's the owner. You don't make the rules, bitch. Hey, what do you think this is?
Hello?
Please. Exactly.
Hello?
Honestly, me in a situation like that, Theo, if I was in her shoes, the day he cursed her out, I won't even give a fuck to tell my boss what happened. I would just let him walk away. Like, oh, you want to take your $12, motherfucker? Fuck you. Let your karma hate you, you know? I won't even bother because shit comes back to you. Now she tells the boss, what about you would have been a motherfucker and you want to go and fucking kill her now because she's talking about you to her boss and shit. What about you want to let her ass? People don't know that people get killed every day for no reason. Like, okay.
te oigo.
Me working, as long as I'm not the owner of the business, you could be stealing everything and the mother next to me, and I will act like you're a fucking fly on the wall.
Oh, ¿qué es lo que es, sicario? Activo, feliz año nuevo.
And believe me, I used to see shit, and I didn't give a fuck. I ain't getting crazy enough to give a fuck. You think I'm gonna get a raise because I screwed on somebody? I'm not gonna get a raise.
Really intrigued by the
oh my god, Theo, I was looking at the video of that you telling me about that the guy went over the tree.
Sí, trabajo, yo mismo voy a trabajar.
Tío, that was fucking crazy, Theo. Like, yo.
Engancha, no tengo dinero ahora mismo, ¿no?
Yo, he would never thought in his right mind that would have been the last moment of his life. Him jumping over that shit and he just died. Yo, it's not funny, but it's funny. Like, I couldn't stop laughing, looking at the way his position of his neck was. I was like, yo, but he's really dead. Like, he just cracked.
A veces pasa, manito, ¿sabes cómo es?
Yeah, you could see he was drunk because he was moving around.
No, tiene que explicarme, no te olvides de eso, no lo expliques. Necesito tú necesitas, tienes que explicarme.
His family's probably
sad. También lo mismo, también conectar mi teléfono, no tengo conectado. Está un poco lento, pero de que yo haga algo, yo te mando algo.
Like, yo, I've been thinking about how I'm gonna die, but I will never in my right mind think that I'm gonna jump over a train and my neck is just gonna crack and it's over for me.
No, claro.
Like, that's it. And just in that split moment. And then Julio has me cracking up because we smoking, watching the video, and he comes out and he makes like this sound.
No sabes cómo es, y de que yo haga algo te lo pongo, lo que pasa es que ahora mismo no he tenido nada.
Life is not a video game.
Y también para el teléfono.
Walking next to that guy, swiping your card, and you see him do that, and then it's like, and he makes like the sound, like you know when you're in a video game and you like falling, and then but it makes the.
Pasa a veces, man, yo lo entiendo totalmente, man.
Like it's the way he did it, yo. He had me dying. I was like, oh my god, like, bro, really 1,000 ways to die. They say you could be in your house and you could just die, so they could fall on you or whatever. But Theo, jumping over the thing. His family's probably like, wow, I could have just fucking paid this fare. He would have been alive still. Exactly, they probably got so much shit to say. It's not funny, but it's funny. Yo, I'm sorry, but when somebody in my family dies like that, as much as it's gonna make me sad because I'm gonna miss you and the fact that you're actually dead, I'm still gonna laugh.
As you know, I've been pissed this whole time.
If you was to die like that, I would be so sad. Like, wow, you fucking died. But at the same time, it's like, wow, see, I can't demand. You kept jumping the shit because I knew you not to. Like, oh my god. See, you know you're the first person I thought about. You're the first person I thought about when I saw that, because even though you showed it to me, but actually watching the video, because when you showed it to me, you just showed me a picture. But I saw the video, I watched it. Oh my god, can I stop watching it? Somebody, it was on Facebook somewhere, but you could Google it or something. But they have the video of him going over, Theo, and you see his whole body literally flip, like his neck stood like in his back. Like, it's fucking creepy, bro. Like his neck. And then it's like, that's hilarious, because whoever took the picture from like the front angle, like all you see is his legs. Like all you see is his legs.
Yeah, who took that picture? The guy with the head.
Like, that's so bad. Like,
who took that picture?
And then you go and take a picture. I know, I can't. I cannot, I can't.
Yesterday, I called Brenda's fellow, he wasn't going to this week because he's sick. He starts flat, so quiet, and I won't finish it because I told him, look, I don't trust the fact that right now, I was at your home, Brenda, from his Browns. monetize directly the promotion, they become aware of you and they come to you. Somebody sees the fucking thing, they think it's cool, they're 17, they tell their mom they want to buy it from you, they click the fucking link on TikTok and you fucking sell cars. Gosh, everyone's transactional.
Steal.
It's all fucking brilliant.
Nobody shows proof at all.
Which is why you created this character. Brilliant. I love that you asked me that question. Like, and this is what always happens. Yeah, I hear it all the time because it's a new thing. Like, how do you monetize an outdoor billboard?
The right way. They say they're doing protocols, but they're not really doing it.
I spoke to years ago, it's like, how do I monetize this?
No, it is their fault. It is their fault because they're making up statements, like you said, and then they're not following it. How are you going to say, oh, nobody cannot come back to school without proof of COVID? So me, knowing that I didn't take the kids testing, I said, I'm not going to get them ready in the morning for no reason. And then when I got to the school, they asked me for papers and I don't have it. So I hit Brenda up at 6 on the dot. As soon as I got up, my alarm rang. 6 on the dot, and I sat at my phone staring at it, and I said, Connie, it was too early. Should I bother her? She's probably not even fucking up here. She's probably getting ready. And then, you know, this is not school hours. But I said, fuck it. It's just Brenda. So I wrote, hey, I'm so sorry to write you this early, but I wasn't able to get the kids' COVID testings. Would that prevent them from coming into school today? Let me know because I don't want to get them dressed for no reason. She writes me back and she goes, hey, as long as they haven't traveled anywhere and they don't have any symptoms related to COVID, it's fine. You can bring them in. And then when I get to the school, all they're doing is putting hand sanitizer in the kids' hands, checking their temperature, and letting them in. I don't see nobody asking for no fucking papers. So what's the point of mentioning that you gotta bring it if you're not even gonna ask for it? You know, already the kids are all in class. We're gonna go in the class and say, hi guys, who has the paper? And whoever doesn't have it, let me call your mom to pick you up again. They didn't do that. They weren't gonna do that. So what was the point of asking for it? So that's why everything is fucking backwards, and that's why this COVID shit is never gonna end because nobody is following the rules. Pasa eso. I hope so. They take it too long though, but they take it too long because Texas is already like that. UK is like that. Jersey is like that. Why the Bronx is still in school?
So what I've been telling them recently is I think I just want to get out of SEM and put all that spend. We spend, I don't know, 40, 50 grand a month in social. And take that 20, 30 grand and spend in SEM and shift it all back to OTT social.
When I hear that you have such a good percentage of social to SEM, I'm excited. I want your SEM to be stronger, so that you're just...
Well, I'll be the first one with handcuffs because I'm not doing it. Okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I saw a parent comment on one of Brenda's posts. She said, hey Brenda, do I gotta bring you in the proof that my daughter has her second dosage already? And Brenda was like, no, it already goes on the computer, it updates itself. And I'm looking at it like, wow, people are stupid, they're really injecting their kids. And I look at the picture and her daughter's like in first grade, second grade, kindergarten or first grade. And I said, wow, she put her daughter a second dosage and she's only fucking in kindergarten. Que linda, que linda.
Like, Josh, once a year, either...
No, I know.
Watch my content or ping me
and Brenda, you saw the post that they're gonna start giving us
James, are you still like
kits. So now we gotta become nurses too. We gotta be like. I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nothing.
And it doesn't have to be with us. It can be with somebody else. In-house teams are never going to be as good as the best of the best. The 15 you spend on education on the current year's best practices, you're going to spend on waste in media.
Wow, that's crazy. So they're going to have to have midwives. If they don't have a midwife, they fuck.
Put your contact in.
And Josh, what makes me comfortable transaction, what makes me comfortable is that I know that they'll tell you not to.
Alright, bye.
Like we'll tell you not to buy us if you like listen for the first 20 minutes and feel like you're close enough. What we found though is there's a big delta because A, we're the best in the world, and B, internal teams tend to not be capable of keeping up with what's going on because they're not an agency looking at everything, looking at every business.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me finish it.
Just the video.
Yeah, wow.
That sort of thing. Our agency does that.
Ahora me está tirando diciéndome what are you doing? Porque no tienen.
You should bring the internal.
Anytime you take media and creative and separate them, either with agencies or internal.
Porque tienes pantalla que no venía, ¿verdad?
Yeah, we're not singing the same song sheets.
Por eso yo sé.
Puedes decir, no tiene comida, no tiene nada, aquí que viene. Tiene comida, tiene su vaina.
But if I told you the difference of how many cars you would sell if you had those things aligned versus separate, it's in the hidden truths. You're like comfortable with something where you're getting
Yo ahora mismo no tengo dinero, tengo
for
poco.
$230
Tú tienes dinero, tú vienes aquí y coges lo poco que yo tenga y después tú no me das nada.
Separation, that 230 might be 86.
I'm sick of everybody. That's why when I get
Josh,
mine,
it is one of the things
I'm
that
just gonna be popping
we
up
use our
everywhere.
mini recon for.
It's gonna be you gotta rank me to
They'll
see.
take it in as a playbook, make
Not
it
just
higher,
come
and then execute it.
Use up all my shit.
I can tell you right now, that
Hello,
the best
person.
reason you signed up for this is knowing that you need to take the media in-house.
Yeah.
Promise. Now, you could have bad casting.
For sure.
I'm basically telling you, you need a good quarterback to win football games. You could draft a bad quarterback.
It happens.
Yes, I'm very aware of the Jets there. You know, so anyway, I think that
Or you could trade for Deshaun Watson.
trying. Cool. I'm happy with that. Let's
Awesome.
keep it.
Roll over to Sam in Texas. Sam, let's go.
Okay. So first, Nick gave some great ideas on how to create content for a market that feels overlooked and mistrusted of my industry, right? And so and that's, it's a high trust thing for us to help people. And so it's how do we build that trust? Nick helps quite a lot with that. But how do I build that audience for people to consume that content?
I'm going to give you the best fucking advice ever. I'm so confident about this one. As good as I've felt so far today, this is the one I'm most confident about. And I'm pretty confident about everything else I've said here so far. You have to start a podcast, and then you have to post-produce the video of the podcast for LinkedIn ads. So what's cool about this is, I'm going to make assumptions that you have a little bit of a sense of me, Sam. What you see from me a lot of times is I'm not an influencer. I'm a businessman who figured out how to do things that could be recorded to then be my content. My entire speaking career, which is lucrative, is mainly because I want the content. It's fucking crazy.
So you're getting paid for something you're going to do already?
No, even better. I'm getting paid for something I wouldn't have done otherwise that is impacting me even more on my core business.
Yeah.
You know how fucking crazy that is? That's basically what I want you to do. Watch how this works out. So you stand up a financial service or a money management or whatever, you stand up a show, Dollars and Cents with Sam Rodriguez, right? That's the show. Now that you have a podcast, you'll be blown away by what I'm about to say. You start cold emailing people on LinkedIn to be a guest that are fancy people, like people that are in CNBC and the Wall Street Journal. One out of every 29 of them, Sam, is going to say yes because everybody is a publicity whore.
Okay. So how do you even get an audience for your podcast? How do you build that audience?
LinkedIn. So this is the next part. So you film the first one with Calvin. It's 42 minutes. Now you have to have the ability, whether you learn this yourself because it's fun, whether you have a younger sibling, whether you hire an intern. Joe is this guy I've seen in Calvin's world, or definitely had sex. To figure out at the lowest possible cost, which starts with you. You watch 20 hours of YouTube videos for free of how to use Adobe. I'm thrilled if you want, for my team, I'll give you 15 minutes for free on how to start a podcast. You can probably have an article on our website right now that explains it all. So you start at the show, you then have 5 moments in your meeting with Calvin that the good points, you can set a smart but by the way, and on the record, I know Stork is wildly inexpensive as a newsletter, but still, you can definitely find this stuff for free. It might just save your time. You might want to anyway, nonetheless, you then cut those 5 clips, and then you post them with copy on your LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the BBC of TikTok. TikTok is the only 2 social media platforms that will give you organic reach on every post more than you deserve based on your behaviors prior to the post. Meaning, if you're a quote-unquote nobody, meaning you don't even have a TikTok or LinkedIn account, your first post of a 39-second video or a 2-minute, 19-second video, Sam, of you and Calvin talking will get 3,000 views, whereas that same video on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter will get 9. and that will become your life. And then you're going to learn how to spend ad money. So now you're spending that. Now you learn that a video went viral, and you should spend $1,000 against a 5-mile radius of your house to get local people. Like, so, we got it.
Yeah. So how do you move people from being consumers of your content to consumers of your product?
By the quality of your content.
Okay. So they
will inquire, my friend.
And they'll come.
100,000%, because you're going to say, thanks everybody for listening, Sam Rodriguez, and send an email to me if you need me, Sam at the net, and things will just start happening. In the first episode, you say, here I am. I don't know if you guys know this character on the internet, Gary Vee, don't need my podcast. Well, here I am. Let me tell you about myself. I grew up here, I did this, I got this. My ambition is to educate, put some karma on the board, feature some guests that I think deserve recognition, let the chips fall where they may. But I love to be a person, sure. I would not even say that line or say that line. They both work. The end.
So if I'm trying to build, say, a nationwide team of advisors,
porque eso
that are consuming me to want to work with my team.
I don't sell myself.
Good.
You have your team on one of the episodes and everyone shoots the shit.
Great, I love it.
You just tell people the truth.
Oh my God. So anyway, if you see,
I'm gonna work right. Hey guys, first of all,
I am gonna go because I have to go in the morning.
This has been insane. Like I told you, Gary, when you told me to do this, I never thought I'd have this many people already listening. I'm blown away. A couple things I just want to share. A lot of you reaching out to work with me. Let me tell you.
I wish my phone could record, but I can't. So you can hear what's talking shit.
I do this. So mostly they're reaching out like,
I'm
not going to work directly with you. I'm going to be working with my team. By the way, if you're out there listening and you think you're great at this, I'd love to have you on my team. So if you email me and say you want to be part of the team, I'm also always looking for that. And also, by the way, if not, please sit back and enjoy this free information. I hope it brings you value, or maybe brings an important question that you can bring to your financial advisor. And I think what's cool about that, Sam, is you've already been in this meeting with me now for 40 minutes. You can see my concern. We have things that I think can help Josh, but I don't necessarily want to sell Josh the $15,000 thing either. Like, I don't want to be transactional. I want to educate him, like, hey, here's what you need to think about, right? In the macro, the right thing is for me to get everybody's media business. That's how we really do business. But I'm not telling Josh to hire Sasha over who the fuck he's using. I'm fucking telling him the best advice, which is take this shit in-house.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep. Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Do that. Cheers.
Awesome.
Keep it moving.
You want to be on a podcast?
I will be your 55th episode guest if you get there.
5-5. It's getting run down everywhere.
Love it. Joe Q, keep me honest on that.
Let's go. I'll keep you honest for sure. Let's go on up to Brad in Oklahoma. Talk of agency life.
Yeah. Hey Gary, so I mentioned that we work mostly with home service companies, plumbers, HVAC contractors. So I got kind of a two-part question. What do you think the most underutilized platforms are for contractor marketing? And then part two is, what do we need to do right now to make sure they stay relevant in 3 to 5 years?
I think the most underused platform is LinkedIn. Because I think LinkedIn is acting more like Facebook did 5 to 7 years ago. Not only are you getting organic reach, people are open to all kinds of information on LinkedIn. It's not just about, like, for example, I'm actually making a note right now. This has been in the back of my mind forever. I have a great kid on my team, Sam Doyle, and my dad's liquor store. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry, but I'm being meta right now. Sam, you make 3-minute time videos for LinkedIn Anyway, boom. Like, I know he's going to post something about wine, and that's going to lead to sign-ups organically. So, LinkedIn for sure, Brad, by a country mile. It will lead to business. It's got an ad product where you can target people by location because most these businesses are local. It's expensive ads, but it's very relevant. Like, the people see it, which matters. People are like, oh, Gary, I can buy these ads for $3 CPMs. And like, nobody's seeing this. They're banner ads on home.com. Who gives a fuck? Right? So, relevance is completely, Brad, based on content. You could get me to stop right now if it was titled How to Build Your Own Home Office During COVID. Content. Right? The reason I exist. some of you who follow me for a long time, Calvin, I know that to be true. I'm very consistent. For 12 years, I've been saying the same shit. The reason I'm worth listening to is I make it all relevant to the moment. My attention arbitrage, content, media, humanity, way to manage is consistent. My strategies around TikTok versus LinkedIn evolve on a day-to-day basis. The slang, the creative, the ideas I use evolve every day. That's valuable. Back to Brad using it, my religion is locked in. My day-to-day practicing of it evolves with the reality of the situation. Content is the answer to everything. Yesterday, we all had a day off because of the words that man said. Seriously, think about that. Everybody in our country stayed home yesterday, didn't work for the most part, because a marvelous man came along. But many marvelous men and women have thought what MLK thought. It was his ability to create content that enabled him. So if you're not putting in the reps on content, you're basically, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. Here's my strategy. I'd like to get a six-pack. Here's the strategy of how to do that. I need to eat way leaner, and I need to do a lot more ab exercises. Good news, I have an incredible strategy to get a six-pack. Now what? You gotta do it. I'm telling you the answers right now. It's TikTok and LinkedIn. The question is, are you gonna put in the reps? Awesome.
Thanks.
You got it.
Cool. Motoring along, let's go to Chicago. Vance, let's talk to Gary V.
Gary V. So, of course, you know that you're the god of posting. I just want you to hear from me. Yeah, a couple things. I want to talk to you in like an interview type of consultant type of style. First off, let me say that I know that your grandfathers are proud of the businessman that you have become, both of them.
Thank you for saying that.
I admire the way you wear your the no belt style you got is dope. And I think something that is very, very important is I seen a video with your personal trainer, Jordan Sayat. He says that you like to work out every day, man. He said every day he has to take a break because he has to work out every day. So that's some of the things I want to share. So I wrote the book about you. It's called How Gary Vee Changed the World. And it's dope. It's dope because you have the world, and then like far as like the states and stuff like, or the continent, you got happiness, you got brand, you got patience, you got all the good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
So, and it's hardcover. It's hardcover. I was trying to get in touch with you. I seen that you had an event on December the 9th that got canceled. And before I found 4Ds, I bought a ticket to come to New York to go to the pizza place that your part owners in, and I was gonna buy a lot of pies, and I was gonna try to get them to call you. So I want to go on. Yeah, I want to go on the offense with you, man. I want to help you buy the Jets. You know, that's my goal.
Vance, help as we go through that journey. I assume, based on the things you brought up, being a paid author where you're not self-publishing like that, being a speaker that gets 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40,000 a gig, those are probably the two things that you're most looking at in front of you?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you in speaking? Have you, as I know this game well, it takes a long time before people get paid to speak. Have you had paid speaking engagements yet?
No, I host my own events, so that's what yeah, but since COVID, I can't. But that's what I do.
It's interesting. Josh asked a question, and it's come up once other time here. Let me give you the number one mistake that I see every day of the week, which is people in personal brand try to transact way too soon, and then the audience fights them off, and they have no interest. So the thing that you need to figure out is, what do you have to say to the world? How are you putting out content on a daily basis across all platforms? That is your number one requirement. and with no mention of buy tickets to my events, no mention to buying books, no mention. Build community. People will come out to you and say, hey, I see that you have this community. Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? You can monetize the B2B. Try not to monetize the audience for 1 year and put out as much content as possible. It is the most important thing I can tell you.
Okay. So my ask is a little bit deeper than that. So like I said, I wanna help you buy the jets. I want to give you $100 million towards buying the jets. But I just need one thing from you. And what I would like to ask you is to, when you have an interview, to bring me with you on an interview. I don't know if we're going to be going back. Are your next events, are they going to happen, or do you think they're going to be postponed?
Right now, my team is planning for me to be in person for starting in September.
Okay. So that's like the UK or something like that, I believe.
That might just be randomly booked there, but like Chicago, like Texas, like anywhere is what we're planning. Obviously, none of us on this call have a clue about what COVID's evolution is going to be.
Okay. So I would like you to, I want to help you buy the jets, but I just need one solid from you. I only need one thing. And I would like you to bring me with you when you do an interview. And I want to be right there with you.
An interview?
I want to be right there with you. An interview. And I only want to say 11 words. I want to say, this is a good man. I wrote a book about him. Make sure you keep listening to him. And my name is Chicago Motivation. 11 words. That's all I want to say for 10 events, though. For 10 interviews. Yeah. I got my own car fare. I got my own car fare.
We started with one. What's going on here? You know, listen, that opening.
That's one thing. That's one thing, but it's just 10 times.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Listen, why don't we start with one and let me see how I feel about it. Obviously, you're opening acting me. You're trying to get awareness to my audience. I understand what you're doing. Right. What I'm trying to think through, Vance, is how do I bring you more value? My intuition is I have a couple of ideas with my 1:37 p.m. I've got a couple ideas that will get you what you're actually looking for.
Okay.
But for example, I may have you ask me a couple of questions and reply to one and split screen it on my Instagram and tag you, and that will give you 10 times the awareness of what you would be doing by physically going to 10 events and saying that on stage. So let me think. I'm going to stay in touch with Joe. I'm going to tag you into my team, and we'll come up with something. We'll give you a little bit of love somehow. We'll figure it out.
Okay, cool. A couple more things.
Okay,
so I got a couple questions. So do you know how to use Photoshop? I don't want to ask you that.
Absolutely.
Do you know how to use?
No.
You don't. And one thing that I really like that you said in one of your videos is you said that a person can post content every day, and it can never be tiring. But you said sometimes a person can post one word and it's too much because they don't have good intent. Yes, so I thought that was very important, you know.
And Vance, I love that. So let me tell you this. I'm telling you, think, because I know you. What I mean by that is I've been around. I'm an old man now. I got a lot of wisdom for 45 years. All of this, it's been a theme here today. The person that can hold their breath the longest wins. And so what I would tell you is, I'm really interested by you and I want to help you. I'll tell you why. In one breath, you so get what I said in that content there. You got it.
Yeah.
On the flip side, and I get it, you get to the moment, right now, here we are, right? You're going to fucking fly and buy pizza, like, here we are. And so in your mind, rightfully so, you're like, I'm going to take my shot, right? But the balancing act is on the other side. You know, while you were talking, like, do I really want to let this dude get that one time to do that? Because everybody wants that. I don't know him. You know, in general, I'm concerned about motivational people because I feel like they're just trying to monetize audience and not bring value. So I'm going through all this stuff in my head, right? But I'm leaning towards intuition and giving a gift, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking, literally, this is what happened. I'm not kidding. I'm just telling you. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking, fuck it, I'm going to do this. And then you said 10 times. And that basically is that one word. I'm like, this fucking guy.
But I want to help you buy the jets, though.
No. I'm going to buy the jets. I don't need your help. You want me to give you a cosign to my audience to spark your career, which, by the way, is right.
Right.
You know, there's nothing you saying on stage, I'm a good man, and getting to my audience that's doing anything for me to buy the jets. I'm coming out of my goodness of my heart to give you exposure. So
it's gonna help me. It's gonna help me. But in return, I'm gonna have businesses and different things going on, in which I'm gonna come with money as a man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good news. I already have enough money from people to buy the jets. That to me is not the issue. The issue and the value I want to bring in this meeting is, I think you're in an interesting spot where I think I can really help, which excites me. You're not going to meet Gary Vee or any of these books or services and the motivational speakers of the past if you hear me and realize, by you honestly, with good intent, putting out content every day on just LinkedIn and TikTok, that you'll have the leverage, not me. That's what I'm trying to get you to. Don't let me be the gatekeeper to your spring pad. You be the fucking person.
No, I'm not letting you be the gatekeeper. I'm saying it's a lot of motivational speakers that have come, and like Tony Robbins, Les Brown, all those guys, and you the man right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm next. I'm next for real, not joking. You know what I mean? Like I'm next. So
Hello?
my thing is, I pay how much?
Espérate.
I'm coming.
Hello?
You know,
I'm humble. Let me promise
Hello?
you.
Sí, ¿cómo está con él?
I'm telling you with my soul because I love you. I
Va
want you
temprano.
to be next, and the number one way you get to be next is
Ya,
by
no,
putting
está
out
bien,
content
entonces.
every day, specifically on those
Ah,
two
todo bien.
platforms. I'm being dead serious with you.
Okay.
Cool. But we'll still do that cosign. I'm gonna figure out how to do it for you one time.
Va temprano que va.
Who's next?
Estoy esperando.
Porque no hay nadie, porque no hay nada. Se van temprano.
Él se va temprano.
La tía la va a cerrar.
In Brooklyn, you are next.
Oh, so you're not going to work?
Brooklyn, Manhattan
Yes.
show to close us out.
So Gary,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I have later.
Ayer, va. Está bien.
Right now, like I said, we basically
Worried about the J Bot too, but that's
no software or anything. We're just scrolling through
Like $1 in the morning for the car. I keep taking money out of the rent. What can I do?
I've tried in the past.
Yeah.
It's compelling. I've had other people in my team that didn't quite work out. So I was going to reset.
What's the big? Give me one.
Yo lo que no podía hacer es buscar mi máquina.
Why it did not work out. Or the hypothesis, because maybe you don't know.
Yeah, the hypothesis. I hired people. I think just not the right people, honestly, and lack of leadership and clear strategy from my side. But like, I hired people nobody thought to ask, like, who's our avatar? Who's our target market? Right? Like, basic things of that nature. So, and I didn't know that either. So last year I'm taking on like a lot of bringing a lot of chaos, and I like chaos, but it didn't work out with the team. Yeah. And so so I'm trying to figure out, like, what I love doing is live Q&As. I freaking love it, bringing people on, just answering the questions, helping them with whatever. I enjoy it so much, I don't need to like make it transactional or anything like that. So we've been doing some of that, and it's great. We're not getting a lot of traction on people actually viewing the content. So I'm trying to figure out, do I just do that branding like you said for a year, put out that content, not even think about monetizing it?
Where are you distributing the content?
Yo lo que estoy por ahí, yo como quería buscar mi máquina.
Facebook, Instagram,
No, y da tu go.
not LinkedIn,
Go.
TikTok.
No, yo buscar mi máquina.
We're starting.
No, en un rato, dice como cuando me habla, ellos serán como a las 7, 8.
So, to me, the answer is yes, but what you can imagine will make both of you far more excited is actually seeing it getting traction. Hence, strategic, organic content. Everything's right.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so loud, y'all. The reason I'm yelling so loud.
Yo voy a hacer movida, yo no voy a estar aquí. Yo a ver si voy a buscar mi máquina aquí, me vuelvo loco una vez que viene cliente.
Twitter was bonkers in 2009, 10, 11. That's 1 million followers as a liquor store guy in New Jersey. Right? Instagram was crazy in 2014, 15. TikTok was crazier a year ago than it is today already. Get on LinkedIn and TikTok organically yesterday. But understand that the content, the slang, the written words, the way you do it, will do better if you understand the platforms. When Sam adds 6 hashtags that are financial terms to his little clip, that will make more people discover it.
No, yo bajé el test now.
Because he actually is native to TikTok because he and/or his social circle lives in it. He's gonna know how to do the sticker overlays or what a duet is. That shit matters. Strategic organic content.
Yeah. So in terms of like, it feels to me like the SaaS business, the software company, there's like a lot of practice around how to market SaaS and sort of more direct response type of thing, and the CAC and the LTVs and all of those kinds of that side of things.